Alright, this is a video of how to use K10 stat. Now, if you're looking at this video, you probably have heard of it, you just don't know how to use it exactly yet. It's for AMD processors. Almost AMD processors, not all, of course, but you can probably Google that and see if yours work, or just open it, of course, and see if it can pick it up your processor, because it doesn't only work with certain ones. I don't remember exactly something with the 10. Anyway, so yeah, of course, your main panel, power panel, power plane. This is the frequency it's running at currently. It will change because, of course, the processor's speed will go up and down. This is your maximum and minimum voltage that your processor can be supplied with. Voltage is currently being supplied with for each core. Of course, that changes as well, and your load. Now, these aren't going to all be exact because it only updates every few seconds, but well, a second or two. All this you can ignore, but if you wish to, if you know what any of it is, well, I know what it is, but if you know what any of this is, you can go and do it like this. Like some data rate. This is basically the speed of your RAM. How fast it's going. It's dual or single. Mine's dual because I have two. So the more important part you'll be looking at is your P state, processor state. I like to call it, but I'm pretty sure it stands for power state. Anyway, you have 5 different profiles. You see how I have to mine. This is my test one. I would just put frequencies, overclock, and my undervolt rather. The most important part of it will be, of course, voltage, because you can have it going all the way at 0, 0, but just not the fastest. At 1.5, but well, actually it goes 1.4, but that'd be very unwise. Your processor will have a default profiles already set in all of them. It will be what your processor is currently running at from the manufacturer. This one you will be using as your main changer, I guess. Anyway, this is the voltage they are all set to. You can change it up here. Frequency is going to be. Frequency it is. This is your multiplier, power state. It does not matter if it's power state or multiplier higher or lower. Essentially, power state is just the efficiency of it versus how it's just multiplied by. Of course, the faster it's going, the more voltage it will use, as you can see here, 1.4. Although there's very little change between the 1.4 gigahertz and the 2.3. That's because, of course, the manufacturer, they don't want it to end up crashing on you while you're using it. But you can probably get a bit more juice out of it, or use less so it runs cooler. As you can see in my overclock compared to the manufacturer, 1.375, I don't even reach that at 2.2. This is my boost setting. Enable boost or not, your choice. But I don't actually use it because I don't feel like my computer boosting past what's stable. I mean, I can make it stable, just add like up to here. It'd probably be stable for me, but I don't need to go past 2.2 because that's my stable temperature. At 2.2 gigahertz maxed out, it will reach close to 80 Celsius, which is good for me. I don't want it going past there, seeing this is a laptop and I don't want to get too hot. But I have it going from 1000. You can put them all the same if you want, it's just around one temperature, but well, frequency. But it won't be using as little power as you'd want. Because, well, I mean, for a desktop, I guess it won't matter, would it? Since my laptop, I want to conserve power, so I have it lower and higher. But I don't want to change it too much, and I don't feel like putting so small as because I have so many power states. Of course, all processors won't have as many power states. Dual core of my other laptop has 3 power states, so don't worry about that. Just put them wherever you want. When you test it, though, don't go too low under what the manufacturer puts. It's not a manufacturer. See, 1.375 volts. Mine is running at 1. That's actually a huge difference if you think about it. If you've never done this before, you wouldn't know, would you? But that is a huge difference. The 0.1375 volts lower. So just play with it. I use Prime64. I will upload the K10 stat program and Prime64 for you to play with. Prime64 is to basically stress test your CPU. It will run it at 100% on all cores for as long as you wish, and it will tell you if there's any errors. I like to go on this over here, and I'll be editing this on one temperature and one voltage down, one little bit down every time until on the Prime 64. I'll wait, of course, wait like 30 seconds to a minute between it. If the Prime 64 tells you there's an error, put the voltage back up as quickly as possible because it could crash. But it's unlikely on the first one, but it can, of course. So I suggest you not have any other programs running while you're doing these tests because you might corrupt them. But in all my experience, whenever I've had a crash, I've never had it corrupt any of my files other than if I have the program open and running at that moment. So wait for your computer to boot up and then do it. But there's little danger of any corruption, don't worry about that. But of course you're overclocking, so if something does happen, you should know how to fix it anyway, right? This is my undervolting. You see I'll have it lower temperature. This is for if I'm, say, just for processor editing, something like that. That's not high CPU in terms of no games, for if I'm out somewhere so I can use less power. Now your processor probably has, a lower voltage set. You can overclock it or underclock it if you wish, like I've done. Now you see mine boosted 2.3. For me, I felt like that was too high. So I kept mine at 2.2 stable, but instead of it being a boost, which is used less often, it's on the normal one. So it's actually being used more often, and it makes my games run great. Instead of, glitching whenever it's got my boost, because the boost was 1.4 volts, and that made it extremely hot. So, just have fun with this. Also, for some of you, you may be able to see your Northbridge voltage. I currently do not because my laptop does not support that with this K10 stat, but if you see your Northbridge voltage, you can just leave it alone. It adjusts I believe, your RAM's voltage and speed. So you should probably be editing that with your BIOS if you're going to change that. So yeah, have fun with this. It's K10 stat, and I really enjoyed using it.